Hey all, Russ here, RVerTV. Welcome. Check it out. We're in Vegas, South Vegas actually. This is the Las Vegas RV Resort. I stayed here for a quick night's rest. We're heading to Hoover Dam. Gonna go explore Hoover Dam this morning. By the time I got out of Death Valley and drove through Pahrump and all that, it was getting on 3:30 in the afternoon, so made a pit stop. Thought we'd do a little sightseeing and home later today. Alright, I got across town on their Interstate 215. We're going to head over to Boulder City. Then over there we will get on into Hoover Dam Park. Alright, here we go. I won't bore you with the interstate. I'll kick the cameras on when we get close. This is actually Interstate 11 now. 95 and 11, Highway 95. Vegas is just a metropolis. The traffic here is insane. The growth of this city too is just boomed. All right, I'm gonna cut off up here on Boulder City Highway, cut through town. We'll take the back way in, past Lake Mead. Days are starting to get longer, for sure, and warmer. Next week, it's supposed to be almost to 100 degrees here. Unbelievable. Wasn't Death Valley cool? Make sure you check out those last videos. The super bloom in Death Valley. That was incredible to see. All right, here is downtown Boulder City. This town was constructed and built when they started building the Hoover Dam. This is also the only town in Nevada where gaming is illegal. There are no casinos here or slot machines of any kind. It was a federal thing because the dam was built by feds. Way back, some old law, and they kept it that way. I just read about that recently. Kind of interesting. There's a really nice Elks RV park here. I'm an Elk member. It's a full-blown RV park right up here off to the right. A lot of businesses, but it is still a small town. They got the State Railroad Museum here. I've done videos on Boulder City a couple times. They have a cool museum downtown inside of an old hotel as well. But this morning we're going to head for Hoover Dam. Hoping the crowds won't be around. Shouldn't be this early. Alright, gonna make left here on Boulder City Highway. This is the actual old highway. Before they built that big bypass bridge, this was the way you had to stay on 95. You crossed the dam. You didn't have a choice. I remember those days. I drove across Hoover Dam years and years ago, many, many times. The lake was full. It was totally different. And actually back then, most people dreaded driving across the dam because it was slow. Highway 93 takes you down to Kingman. 95 takes you down through Searchlight all the way down to Blythe. So all the roads intersect here. Yeah, that was different back in them days. That lake was full. That's back in the early 90s. All right, there's Hoover Dam Lodge. I'm gonna stop and grab a little bit of fuel. That way I don't have to mess with it later. I got a little time. Let the sun get up a little bit. I want to take the tour down inside the dam. Hopefully it isn't sold out. I can get it down in there. You take elevators all the way down to the bottom and see the power plant, something like that. Also, there's a boat ride. Maybe we can catch a boat ride here too. We'll see. See how it all times out. If I can pull it off. But we got a plan anyway. All right, this won't take long. Grab a little fuel. Throw some new batteries in the camera. All right, all fueled up. There's a overlook before we go in through the security. I kind of dread going through security. I can't film any of that. Last time I took the van through there, I had to tear half of it apart. I don't recommend bringing RVs into Hoover Dam. Cars and pickups, that kind of stuff is easy. But we'll see what they do to me today. Okay, we go through this little tunnel, which is part of the interstate now. There's hiking trails off to the right. Just a pretty area here. Do the roundabout. See, normally right here I'd jump on 93. But we're gonna go see that big dam. All right, make a right. This is the original old highway right here. Used to drive this all the time. When I lived in Sacramento, we had a project down near Phoenix. And twice a month would drive all the way from Sacramento down below Phoenix. And always came through here. Okay, that overlook turnoff should be right up here. Well, I thought it was. You know, last year I rode the bicycle on the old railroad trail, backside of these hills. That was cool, going through all the tunnels. I'll need to do that again one of these days. That was fun. There you can see the interstate. We are almost up to the dam. Ooh, they got color here. There's some brittle brush, yellow flowers. That's pretty. Okay, that turn, here it is. See, I knew the whole time. Heck yeah. All right, let's go check out the overlook. It's a world-class view up here of Lake Mead. What's left of Lake Mead. All right, ooh, looks like almost got it to ourselves. Park right here. It's kind of breezy this morning. Well, that picture kind of shows what a lot more water in it. The islands out there. Straight down that marina is where that boat goes out of. I don't know if we'll be able to get on that thing or not. That'll be close. They only have 2 trips a day. I don't know if I can get through the dam and make it down there or not. But there's fishing, boating, houseboats, sailboats, shipwrecks, all kinds of stuff. When the water level the last few years have dropped, they've found all kinds of things that surfaced. Picture of the dam being built, the big intakes. They said when they created Hoover Dam, it was just an engineering marvel, way ahead of its time. Well, it's what, 90 years old now? Something like that, 80, 90 years old. That's what the lake used to look like when it full of water. The islands out there were just tiny little rocks. We were 400 feet above the water line. We're probably more than that because the water level is low. Cool old pictures. But at least there's still water in it. They got a lot of controversy going between the 7 states that feed off the Colorado River. Big negotiations. Arizona is greatly impacted. California, right here in Nevada, Utah, Colorado. They all depend on this water. Vegas has their own private pipelines, so they're in pretty good shape. They can keep drawing water. Of course, it's right here, too. But see the train? It's gorgeous. Nice red cliffs. Look over here, see what we got. Got a little bit of color, a little bit of flower here. There's their maintenance building. The old railroads used to come through here, the tracks when they constructed the dam, the tunnels. I'll put a link down in the description for that hiking trail, that railroad trail. I actually rode the e-bike on it. You can ride bikes on them. All right, well, get in the van. I'm going to roll. I can't really film going security, so I'm going to have to turn the cameras off for that. They won't allow it. So I'll see you guys down at the dam in just a few minutes. Probably quicker than that. Made it. There's a look at the intakes right here at Hoover Dam. Security wasn't real awful. There's the overflow. Last time that was used was like 20 some years ago, was when this lake was full. I think it was year 2000. It spilled over. We're on the Arizona side. See all the power lines, everything. Well, I'm going to head down for the dam tour. Hopefully it's not sold out. You can get a ticket. You can buy them online, but I did not do that. Wow, there you can see how low. Look how far down those intakes. That's got to be 150 foot down at least. This is the Arizona side. They have clocks on the intake. Right now, the time zones are the same, Pacific and Mountain. Arizona never changes time. The time change just happened. But when you come here, you can actually time travel an hour in the wintertime. See the clock up above it? So they have 2 intakes on the Arizona side and 2 on the Nevada side. And way down there is the water. What a shame, huh? I don't know if they could ever fill it back up. I remember reading that it took years to fill it to begin with. Several years for this thing to become full. Right down there, that's where the boat, by those buoys down there, if we can get on the boat, we'll find out. There's the bypass bridge on the freeway up there. Those are elevator shafts, I believe, with the brass doors on them. And we are just about into Nevada, or we might even already be there. There's a better look at the bathtub ring. That's Black Canyon down there. They call it Black Canyon. Alright, welcome to Nevada. Now we're on the Nevada side. There's the two intakes. Each side has its own set of power generating turbines. This thing has produced a lot of electricity. It's actually paid for itself. Took a lot of years, but it paid itself off. Hoover Dam, it says exhibits. I don't know if that's open or not. Look at the water line. The water was right up here. Another elevator. With that octagon-shaped building, that's a visitor center. That's where we'll pick up the tour. It's closed. You had to think you could almost reach over the edge and touch the water. Not anymore. Reach over the edge and fall. Like 16 stories. More security guards. Well, can't blame them. They gotta have it. Actually, we have pretty good access to something like this. Here's those memorials. Last time I was here, they were under construction. Looks like they got them completed. They're tall, aren't they? This is well done. Yeah, last time it was all blocked off and under construction. Like a big sundial or something.
The shield is worn on the breast of the eagle without any other support to denote that the United States ought to rely on its own fortune. 13 arrows grasped by the eagle.
That's a long flagpole. Cool.
The colors have specific meanings. White, purity and innocence. Red, force, power. Blue, vigilance, perseverance.
Some kind of electrical conduit or piping coming down. Yeah, this has all been redone. Alright, well, I'm going to head on down. I think I have to go through security again. See if we can't get on one of these tours.
You got a big stroller, Eric.
Well, it's kind of hard to get lost down here because we can only go so far. But we have to have the numbers just in case there's an emergency. We have to display that, yeah. Actually, I kind of do, but that's.
Yeah, you do, okay.
Well, no, we're not doing that today. It's my Friday, so I'm getting ready for my weekend here.
Well, this is the bypass pipe from when they built the dam. This tour is just packed full. Gonna be hard to film. I'll catch what I can. But you kind of wind through the rock tunnels.
With the lake, to get that started, the engineers first had to block off 3 and 4 diversion tunnels. Generators start going online. You're probably wondering how we get the water to the generators because that's the main mode of moving the water.
Well, this is just a bypass. We're gonna get to see the power plants. Just a few minutes. That'll be cool.
Those are the intake towers, so that's how the water enters the system.
Here you go. This is the Nevada side. All the turbines. Arizona has its own set on the other side of the river. We're like 270 feet down from the top. Walking through those tunnels, it's very cool. Very cool down here. It's nice. But look at this place. It's massive. Big crane down there.
Enough to power roughly around 1 million homes. Now, besides the 17 large commercial generators, we also have 2 smaller ones. Those are the pelted water wheels. The one that we have here in Nevada is going to be that rust-colored object that you see sticking out. That one crane with the flag alone right in front of us here that they're using right now. It has enough power to lift the Statue of Liberty in New York Harbor all by itself.
Well, we go back up. This is it. I could only get the short tour. They have a 30-minute and a 60-minute. I was only able to get the 30-minute That's all they had available. There's workers right on top of that thing working. Look at that big control panel down there. I wonder if you went there and turned the switch, it'd turn off Vegas. Joking, joking. Well, kind of cool. They really herd you through here quick. It's all orchestrated and timed out. So anyway, we're going to head back up top. There's the elevators. Holds a lot of people. They really pack you on here. And all that metal is to keep the water from dripping on you out of the rock. Then they got drainage gutters built into the concrete. Get the water away. Really clean down here, isn't it?
It's definitely going out Las Vegas because we know Vegas. Whenever something gets old, it gets imploded. So, oh, you guys, any damn questions?
Too expensive for private development. In 1922, the seven Colorado River Basin states formed the compact. The Secretary of Commerce, Hoover, understood the problem and sought a solution.
Well, this is all brand new exhibits in here. It wasn't like this last time I was here, I don't think. Big bucks. They got digital people on the screens talking. All about Boulder City.
Joe, can you just confirm that elevation level is what became 19 feet?
We just moved in. Up water, getting on light. But my husband can't find his way home with all the new houses. But knowing I know, we'll have a library and stuff like maps in no time. Oh, the boys are back. I better finish making dinner. Good luck finding your home.
Well, I'm glad to be out of that crowd. That was a $25 tour. It was worth it. And it's not even that busy of a day. But they can only take so many people down at a time, I guess. That's where we were, way down there. Long elevator ride. Took 70 seconds, the guy said, from top to bottom. Your ears would pop too. There's the big bypass bridge. Kind of pretty, the river down there. There is a company that offers raft rides at the base, way down there. Have to check into that one of these days. Pretty impressive though, isn't it? Info about when they built the bypass. You know, that was a big deal, building that bypass after 9/11. For years, you couldn't drive semis or trucks across the dam, only cars. That sent all the traffic down through Laughlin and Searchlight. Big old power poles bolted right into the rock, leaning over like that. That's the way it was designed. I think I said earlier, they consider this engineering marvel way ahead of its time. The engineering that went in it. He mentioned that too on that tour. It's even rated for earthquakes up to like a 8.6, all kinds of stuff. All right, I'm going to head back towards the van. Let's see. I don't know. When I get back there, I'll check the phone. I might be able to make a boat ride. I don't know. I'm not sure of the time. We missed the morning one. Maybe we can catch the afternoon one. At least the wind calmed down. It's turned out to be a pretty day. A little chilly. It's 75 degrees. It's 11:45. Hopefully I can catch that boat. Got to get a couple shots of the dam here before we get over the other side. Built right in that rock, isn't it? Here's a little better look. Yeah, way down there, they got a raft business. It's called Hoover Dam Raft Company. Just seen that the other day. We were just way up top there on that viewing platform. A lot better views on this side in there with the river. The other side just that big bathtub ring. And right here, we ought to be right at the state line because that runs right down the middle of the river. So we should be standing right about Nevada, Arizona. Kind of cool, huh? Right over there where those people are, that's the plaque. There's your state line. Last viewpoint over here. Gotta take another peek at it. Really good access. You know, you just take your time, walk around. I'd rather be up top than down in that thing. That was just so crowded. It was hard to hear the guy. But, you know, at least you get to go down inside the dam though. Kind of a fun stop to finish off our Death Valley trip. Well, I just checked my phone. I checked the website for that boat ride. I got 40 minutes to get there. So I gotta quit goofing off. I don't think I'll be able to film it. We just gotta get going. One last quick look. All right, the race is on. See you at the marina. We got a boat ride coming up. Made it with about 8 minutes to spare. This is their afternoon cruise. Takes about 90 minutes. They're going to run us right up to Black Canyon. I did this several years ago. It's a fun little experience. They sell food and booze and stuff on here. No gambling. They're getting loaded up, so we'll be able to see the dam from the water. So I'm going to find me a good seat and sit. Rest up a little bit. Fake paddle wheels. This thing's got 2 big engines on it. The water's actually up a little bit. It's amazing to say that. I mean, it's up compared to what it was. Still hundreds of feet low. That's a big time marina there. That thing floats. They just keep it tied off. It floats up and down with the level of the water. Alright, should be underway shortly.
To the upper end of Hoover Dam. We will be underway shortly. In the meantime, we'd like to remind you, if there is anything we can do to make your cruise more enjoyable, please do not hesitate to ask any crew member. Second deck bar will be open for the duration of the cruise for all your cocktail and beverage needs, as well as food orders for the grill. Due to the fact that we are a United States Coast Guard documented and inspected vessel, and the fact that we are on federal property, the use and/or possession of marijuana.
I just made Dopey leave the message during.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, good day, and welcome aboard the Desert Princess. Operated by Lake Mead Cruises, an authorized concessionaire of the National Park Service, the Desert Princess is the largest vessel currently cruising on Lake Mead. On our trip today, we will travel across a portion of the Boulder Basin of Lake Mead to Black Canyon and Hoover Dam. As we get underway on our excursion, there are a few nautical terms we'd like you to know and some rules of shipboard behavior we'd like you to follow. The forward section of the Desert Princess is the bow. The rear of the boat, where the paddle wheel is stored, next to the stairwell near the bow. On the third deck, life jackets are stored under the wheelhouse. All of the storage locations are clearly labeled on the outside. As you move around the boat, please look for the signs and remember those locations. Should an emergency arise, the captain and crew will direct you. There are several areas on board that are for the crew only. These include the engine compartments below decks, the galley, the outside walkways on the sides and stern of the main deck, and the ladder between the second and third decks on the port side near the bow. Please do not enter or use these areas or any other that are labeled crew only. One final safety rule.
That's a lot of boats out there, isn't it? Houseboats, all different kinds, shapes, sizes, a lot of rental boats. Their businesses have been hurt with the low water level here.
Relax, make yourselves comfortable, and enjoy the ride. East and established themselves. A highly structured farming society that diverted.
Well, they give you quite a bit of history, the whole trip out. The whole thing's like 90 minutes. So it takes about 30 minutes. We'll get out to the base of the dam. They float there for a few so you get pictures and then kind of head straight back. Straight ahead is Black Canyon.
Around the year 1150, at the confluence of the Virgin River and the Colorado, where they were met by Mormon settlers. Powell wrote about his experience.
It's hard to put in perspective how high that ring is. The water ring around here. He said it's like 160 feet, the ring. That's how tall it is. There's also bighorn sheep that roam around these hills here too.
Western water resources, which the USGS still conducts today. Another group which had great impact, its awesome power could also destroy. Over the course of its 1,400 miles, the Colorado drains water from 1/12 of the continental United States. In the spring, it would often swell and overflow its banks, flooding hundreds of square miles in Arizona and California. This was beneficial as the silt deposited by the overflows created rich farmland, and the overflows could be directed by canals into areas like California's Imperial Valley. It makes its home here at Lake Mead, about the size of a white-tailed deer with a white patch on its rump and the distinctive curly horn. The animals feed on the small amounts of green vegetation you can see. To spot one, look for the white patch, as the bighorns feed facing uphill. If you spot one, keep an eye on it, and you'll be amazed at how easily they seem to move up and down the steep slopes. Their hooves are padded, and they act almost like Velcro. 2 huge tunnels could be built on each side of the river at the dam's.
All right, dam is coming up.
2 temporary dams
We were just up top a little while ago.
Construction area. The upstream dam would push the water into the tunnels, and the downstream.
But I would recommend this boat. I mean, you can sit down below. They got air conditioning, food, drinks. It's pretty comfortable. There you can see how tall that ring is. That's just amazing. I haven't seen any bighorn sheep. I've been trying to look. But they're kind of hard to spot. They blend in pretty good.
Actual construction was a very different story. Nothing of this magnitude had ever been attempted. New techniques and equipment had to be developed to deal with each new problem that arose. Supervisors that over the period of construction, only 96 died. Of these, 24 fell to their death. 3 drowned, 10 were killed by explosions, 5 were electrocuted, 26 were struck by falling debris, 26 more were struck by heavy equipment, and 1 died in an elevator accident and 1 in a cableway accident. Contrary to folklore, of these 96 men, none are buried in the dam. Safety practices such as the protective hard hat and the use of salt tablets to replenish the sodium in workers were first used here. Incredibly, the project was completed ahead of schedule. It took less than 5 years to accomplish the most difficult engineering feat ever attempted. On February 1st, 1930, Francisco to New York. As you look at the main portion of the dam, the state line marking the Arizona.
All right, here it is coming up.
The black square.
I'm going to wait till he turns the boat, and then I'll be able to get a pretty good angle on it. There's Hoover Dam from the water.
And visitors to the inner workings of the dam below. If you haven't already taken the Hoover Dam tour, a mile between the high walls of Black Canyon, nearly 900 feet above the Colorado River. Its construction required 8,000 tons of dollars, and the bridge opened to thousands of pedestrians during a celebration called Bridging America on October 16th. The river affords visitors a view of the dam that was previously only seen from helicopters, earning at its completion the title of highest and longest concrete arch in the Western Hemisphere. Hoover Dam's companion bridge is an engineering marvel to rival the dam itself. Hoover Dam and Davis Dam, which is located 70 miles downstream and was completed in 1951, have formed Lake Mead and Lake Mojave. These 2 lakes and the lands around them make up the Lake Mead National Recreation Area.
Will be open for the duration of the cruise for all your cocktail and beverage needs. However, the food menu, the food items for the grill will be shutting down in approximately 20 minutes. So if you'd like to place a food order, see the second deck bartender as soon as possible.
All right, as we move away from the dam, there you go. From the water, from the top. We've seen Hoover Dam all over today. Captains did a nice job in there. Very smooth, no wind. The wind calmed down, thank goodness. All right, we're gonna head back. Been a long day, been worth it though, hasn't it? What a little adventure, especially catching the boat. I didn't know if I could make this or not. Even though those paddle wheels don't do much for the power, they're kind of cool looking, huh? Well, one last little look back at Hoover Dam. There's your postcard picture right here. Water ring, dam way in the back, and the paddle wheels. And the blue water. Cool, huh? All right, all ashore, it's going ashore. Well, hope you enjoyed this 4-video series. Going up to Death Valley, in Death Valley, Beatty, Rhyolite Ghost Town, Hoover Dam on the way back home. Coming up, springtime travel. 2026. Journey never ends. Talk soon.